Welcome to our channel, ladies and gentlemen. For those who love my country, Kenya, the scenes that you see on your screens are not very good for us because we continue to lose a lot of revenue. The country is divided further, and it's really not good. William Ruto must do something because the buck stops with him. But today, there was another attempt by youths to invade Uhuru's land. Very pathetic. And the people who engineered this class war between the dynasty and the hustlers, because this is what is happening. In Narock, there's a ranch that belongs to Uhuru Kenyatta, and some youths, unknown goons, went there. This is what is reported. Youth invade Uhuru's Narock ranch. Police act swiftly. And of course, give credit where it's due. The police moved very fast and thwarted those efforts. It's unlike the other one where the police kept away intentionally and allowed youths to take away animals that are reared there, cut down trees in an environment where we are trying to talk about climate and we want to plant more trees, and then they burnt that run. So it goes on to say that police on Thursday, March 30th, repulsed unknown individuals attempting to raid KEDONG ranch associated with former President Uhuru Kenyatta at the border of Narock East. It says further, according to reports, police patrolled the area before they spotted armed youth breaching the security fence to trespass into the ranch. Tear gas canisters were lobbed to disperse the rowdy youths. And I must say, this is good for them to have moved quick. But the questions that are still being asked, what happened in the first instance? No, let us look at reasons why today the police moved in very fast. You know, in the first one, Kimani Ichung'wah had given a prophecy, actually a caution and a warning that they would invade Uhuru's land. And people thought he was joking, so they made good their threats. But after those incidences, the very ugly incidences, acts of goons, there are those who say that this is too much. In fact, there are reports that Kithure Kindiki and Rigathi Gachagua are not reading from the same page because people believe these goons were supported by Rigathi Gachagua, Ndindi Nyoro, and Kimani Ichung'wah. There was a leak by the Right Honorable Raila Amolo Odinga, who explained to the whole world where these goons were meeting. At first, they were meeting in a Karen home of Rigathi Gachagua. Then later they changed locations, and they were even ferried to Nyanza and Western. They had weapons and they wanted to create chaos. So they realized that the Kenya Kwanza team itself felt that this was too much and they could not sustain it because obviously there were those people who are very angered. They don't feel like that the way to deal with the situation is to ban people's property. You know, there are people who look at the future and they know that today it is them, tomorrow the shoe will change, it will be on the other side of the foot. They say that power is transient. Today you have it, tomorrow it is gone. So that is why they decided to act in very fast. You know, the international community also spoke about it and they condemned. Of course, after Raila Amolo Odinga and Martha Karua and the Azimio team complained that you are all quiet, your silence is very loud when the police is using extra force and lobbing tear gas into our convoy, and then they ban Uhuru's land, but you don't speak. So it forced them to come out, and they said that protesters must do that within the law. But William Ruto was also cautioned to stop using excessive force, even though he still does that. Even today, Raila's convoy was really smashed. There was a vehicle there that was shown. The window panes have been smashed. So the government is still breaching the constitution. They still don't understand that they need to provide security to those who are demonstrating. So because of the warning from the international community, they decided to tone down We also understand that the forces were not very happy on how their former boss is being treated. There was a lot of undertones, silence, and tension, a lot of anxiety within the forces because you all know, I've said here again and again, that there are forces, members of the forces, disciplined forces, that still pledge their allegiance to the former president. The constitution, of course, allows them to salute William Samoei Ruto, but deep down their hearts, they still they still have some soft spots for their president, their former president, and their former commander in chief. So, understanding that this was almost they were sitting in a very precarious situation, because I saw some people, writing some things on Twitter that if it escalates further, then the military was being called upon to take over, because obviously the police had failed tremendously. The police is supposed to take care of the common wananchi, but they failed. They took sides and they were, persecuting, also to speak, the common wananchi, and that is why the forces, the military was being called upon. So knowing very well, I think they were acting on an intelligence report that it was about to break. They didn't like it. In fact, as a former president, someone was alleging, I don't know what the constitution says, but someone was saying that when you interfere with an immediate former president, then the military will take over. And of course, they are our brothers and sisters. They understand the situation. They know why we are here. Even them feel the pangs of hunger. And I remember during the campaigns, William Samoei Ruto had promised that they were going to replenish the accounts of the police. They were going to add them some salary, some increment, but that has not happened. So obviously, they are not very happy. And so I think this is the reason why they wanted to act very fast. But I want to say that this class war must stop. The last time I checked, William Ruto stopped the war between dynasties and the hustlers. But this is again what they have brought back, because they are now selling this narrative that the Kenyatta family grabbed some land there, and therefore he rendered most of his siblings there, the Kikuyu community, without land. And so they want to revenge. On this platform, we speak truth. If at all the Kenyatta family grabbed land, there's a report, the Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Committee, Kriegel and all. I think there are several reports that deal with the past injustices where people killed each other, Wagala massacre, grabbing of land. Why can't Kimani Ichung'wah, who is giving warning to Uhuru Kenyatta, he is the majority leader in the National Assembly, why can't he just go to Parliament, move a motion to compel the government? They are the government, surely. Compel, this is not even compelling. Let them just pass, because they have the numbers, so that we can open the reports, read them, let Kenyans know what happened, let Kenyans apologize to each other. I remember it happened, I think, in South Africa. So that we put this to an end, and we know if there was an injustice in terms of land acquisition that happened, we do it in a proper manner. I'm one person who believes that we must keep the law. The environment is so pacifying when you keep the law. I want you to imagine for 1 second that we live in a lawless country where your neighbor can just come, kill your wife, kill your children, or take away your television, and it goes away with it, and there's nothing you can do. These acts of lawlessness that lead to another republic, leads to anarchy, is something that personally I don't want. So today the police acted very fast, but we need to guard against this. We need to be very careful. Yesterday, I understand that there were another youth that had been dispatched to go and interfere with the Raila's molasses plant in Kisumu. It means that this crafted plan is not yet over. They are still targeting, and if people would go to slumber for just a minute, they might decide to pounce at night and ban some of these industries, some of these companies. We really need to calm down as a nation. William Ruto is doing a disservice to himself. He had promised that he will bring the cost of living down, but he's not doing that. He's wasting more time trying to follow Raila here and there. If they provide security to the demonstrators, I can tell you that it will be very peaceful. Before he knows it, people will be asking, we are into over 1 year after you took oath of office, what have you done to us? And I know what he will say. He will say that Raila Amolo Odinga and the Azimio team wasted his time, that the time that he needed to bring down the cost of living was wasted because of the maandamanos. Look at what they're doing. They have barricaded the CBD, and they take pride that Raila cannot get into the CBD. Today there was a lot of cat and mouse chase. But did you know that when they do that, people are not going to work? So the revenue is really, really reduced. In fact, they don't collect revenue. So we really need to do something. I always, complete my analysis by saying, open the server, Mr. President. We believe that you won. Open and show the whole world that you won. Bring down the cost of living. Don't stop telling us that Kenya Kwanza is a limited company where only those who voted for you have got shares, because all Kenyans are taxpayers. Stop the unilateral appointments into the IEBC Commission. And please provide leadership. At this point in time, we don't need William Ruto, the politician. We need William Ruto, the leader, the man who goes to church every day. Ladies and gentlemen, this is my take.